Hi, welcome back to AATV. I'm Tom Anvil Hibberd, and recently I put a poll up on our community tab on YouTube, and I asked you guys as subscribers what you'd like to see for our 2000 subscriber special, and you quite overwhelmingly voted for my guns. So I'm going to take you through, historically, what I've bought and I use on the airsoft field. So my first gun was a TMG36, bought in around 2000, 2001, can't really remember. Had a very long life with me, went through different forms, lots of modifications. I'll put some photos of it up now. I really liked that gun, but it's long since gone. I next moved on to a classic Army M15, A4, SPS, SPC. Again, sold that. And when I got back into airsoft a few years ago, I bought this. This is the LCT AK104. I think the model type is LCK104 or TK104. But it's a pretty good replica of a Russian AK104. Other than the fixed stock tube, which the real ones wouldn't have. But this one does. But hey, it's great. It means you can put on all sorts of great Western collapsible stocks. For a long time, when I had this, it had some modern civilian Magpul furniture on. Once I got more into airsoft and did some more digging into the actual meaning of airsoft in the UK, I've moved back towards military replicas. So this is currently being built towards what would commonly be termed an alpha build. So an alpha being one part of the FSB guys in Russia, part of their intelligence services, direct action teams. FSB being the new name for the KGB, effectively. So this has quite a lot of changed parts, running a clone Zenitco front end, clone Zenitco muzzle brake, with a bit of black paint on to make it look like carbon. Clone grip. I use this big saw grip, which isn't necessarily clone specific, but works really well for my hands. I find AK grips quite small in my hands. The stock adapter tube was already on there, and I've got a Magpul CTR stock, which is FSB Alpha guys seem to really like these. Do occasionally run a rail mount on the optics rail mount here to put a red dot or a scope on if needed, and I'm debating whether going back to a rail on the gas tube, as that's just super handy. But this is a really solid gun. I used to use it an awful lot, don't tend to use it much anymore. I'm sort of regretting that slightly. Inside, fairly standard version 3 gearbox that has a Gate Titan ECU MOSFET in. It has this lovely straight trigger. It's got quite a bit of Ultimate and Lonex internals. Prometheus barrel, Prometheus hop, rubber, and a flat hop. Really nice gun. Used to get called the Beast by my LFO teammates. Used to outrange a lot of the fairly standard AEGs on the field. So that's my LCTK 104. So the next gun I bought is this new Parole Delta with a N-lock, not M-lock front end. I was at an event and the primary gun I was testing went down, so I needed another one. So I bought this. It was kind of like the micro switch trigger. It's in this paint job. This was done for a print article. I've got a painting article and video coming up, which I'll show you in a bit. Pretty standard stock, completely stock internally. Same barrel, same hop, same everything else. Pretty solid gun. Did have some gearbox troubles with it, but new Parole sorted me out straight away. There was no problems there. But now it's in semi-retirement because I've got some newer, more upgraded guns that I prefer using. And again, as we talked about previously, I'm getting into military clones now, military and law enforcement service rifles. And this isn't a specific clone of anything, but it is quite nice. So still quite fond of the paint job, but now it's all wearing off. I think it looks great. I'm looking forward to my other painted guns getting to this state. So this is now in semi-retirement. Had quite a lot of hard abuse. It's now just getting a bit rattly and a bit loose and a bit not quite what I want. But it's more down to my changing perceptions of what I want. out of an airsoft gun rather than an inherent problem with the gun itself. So that's my new Parole Delta. So the next gun I bought was partly as a result of writing an article called The Naked Gun for Airsoft Action magazine, and this was moving away from guns with lots of accessories, guns with lots of stuff hanging off, and just trying to keep kind of a really lightweight rifle. Not that it's light because it's steel and wood, but a very simple basic gun without any fripperies on it. I also was getting into kind of Cold War 1990s gameplay, and I wanted something which was super useful from late 70s up till the present day. I can just switch the handguard, these wooden handguards out on this with the handguards from my LCT 104, and I've pretty much got a modern gun. These are still in service with the triangular folding stock with the Russian forces at the moment. Also super handy. I like folding stocks because to fold it away it makes it really easy for transport and for moving around. Folding stocks are not for CQB. You don't shoot a gun like this. You shoot the gun from the shoulder with the stock extended. Okay, you've seen this a lot. It's very much a channel workhorse. We've had a lot of upgrades and test parts and bits put in this. It's got a Red Hornet 6.02 lapped stainless steel barrel, which is excellent. The gearbox, the gears, cylinder, everything else is still stock, even though it does have a Parole version 3 MOSFET inside, which is quite nice, makes the trigger really crisp. But it's great, really great construction. I really like the LCTs. Steel where it should be steel, wood where it should be wood, plastic where it should be plastic. These would actually be Bakelite. Really nice guns, really well built. This has been an absolute workhorse for the channel. You've seen it in loads of range videos and firing videos and BB tests. And it's still a workhorse now, so it's probably one of my favourite guns, one of my two favourite. Difficult to separate them. So let's call this favourite number 1. My LCT AKS 74. Okay, so the next gun I bought, largely as a result of watching films like Black Hawk Down, Heat, Blood Diamond, things like that, Green Zone, and actually pretty much the same gun appears in all of those, probably from the same movie Armoury. And this is my GMP M7V3. So it's a A2 carbine, made by GMP. This is a XM177 E2 flash hider. So the reason I bought this is this can do me service for film sims all the way from, with a slight stretch of the imagination, all the way from Vietnam up till virtually the present day. It's got an A1 fixed carry handle that does have a brass deflector, which was very, very late on the A1 upper receiver, and a Delta ring, wrong stock. So if you're getting really, really, really accurate, this wouldn't be good enough for an XM177E2. But 10 feet away, Vietnam gun, Black Hawk Down gun, 90s gun, early 2000s gun, absolutely fantastic. Very solid. Internally, it's pretty much stock all the way, apart from a Parole MOSFET we put in when we were testing those. So, really nice, solid built gun. To be honest, it's mainly used by my partner and her daughter when we're playing. It's a nice little light, short, handy little thing. They like it. I'm looking forward to using this at a Gunman 90s event. I've currently got the flash hider on, this big XM flash hider, rather than the AT birdcage, as I was watching Blood Diamond the other night. And some of the guys, weapons the special forces or mercs were using looked just like this, and I thought, fantastic, let's have a go. So I might still spray it up in Black Hawk Down Blood Diamond colours, make it look really trick. But yeah, that's my G&P M7V3. So the next gun we have is my KWA KM4 CQB. So we reviewed this on the channel a while ago. It was a very simple, basic, solid, really well made, really nicely produced AR carbine, short barreled AR, much like a Mark 18 Mod 0. So I built a Mark 18 Mod 0 out of it using, so this is the original upper with a Armoury NWS cack rail and various other parts on it. It is, let's put this down for now and we'll go through this. So this is the original upper, completely fake, useless, literally just a box PEQ2, but it's kind of what they were using in the early global war on terror. Nice early Surefire clone. The Night suppressor, M68, inner Wilcox mount, fake, and the original cut down backup iron sight on the rear, an actual CAC broom handle. So that's one upper for that gun. I've just sprayed this. I'll be bringing you that episode soon, so I'll take you through how I spray my guns. Super simple technique. I actually use the same barrel out of this in this great big thing. So this is in an Ergi build. So Ergi is Upper Receiver Group Improved, and that's pretty much the new rifle going into US Special Forces now. It's got the Angry Gun Mark 16 Ergi rail, really nice rail, super stiff. Underneath that, it's got the correct licensed Daniel Defense barrel, which is a mid-length gas system, which is different to the normal carbine length. It's 14.5 inch, it's like an M4 carbine, M4A1. I had to make the gas tube for this, as there wasn't one. Got a gas block, gas tube all set up. And this is the Airsoft Artisan Surefire can on an Airsoft Artisan still for war comp. So with a Magpul bipod Vortex 1-6 strike eagle. So great gun. So I've got two guns running on the same lower, same gearbox, same barrel. Barrel only comes to about here, but in a barrel, but it works out really well. Great gun, super accurate. You've seen this a lot. We've done it for our range testing at Thurliston and our zero testing and all of those things. John at JTAC put on the Mark 18 lasers for me, so that's nice and accurate. Really good gun. Really very impressed with the way this works. No recoil or anything. Fairly simple. Gearbox is pretty much stock. Gears, piston, and knowing me, it does have a gate tightening. It also has a Prometheus barrel, Prometheus purple flat hopped with a Firefly nub, which is also fairly standard for my builds. Range, max about 75 metres, effective is probably 65. Now you can actually hit something. 75 is a bit optimistic if you're using really good ammo. But a really nice gun, and I can press it into service as a DMR if I need to. It'll outrange most kind of stock DMRs unless they've had quite a lot of work done to them. So that's almost two guns for one there. Now something completely different. The shell of my LCT AKM. This is the host for the LCT EBB kit, which I'm currently working on. I'm going to smooth that all out, polish it, do some work on it to keep it running, which it does need a bit of help. Slightly violent action, but this is really solid, lovely laminated wood. Again, steel receiver, steel trunnions, really nice. Nice. And I bought this gun when the recoil kit went into my AK-104. That just shook itself to pieces, so I really needed a new host for it. And this is the host it lives in. This is brilliant for Vietnam, Cold War, even modern OP4, modern global war on terror OP4. So absolutely fantastic gun. Makes a hell of a noise. The EBB kit is somewhat unreliable in terms of its longevity, but we're keeping an eye on it, and I'll report back as soon as I know what's going on. LCT are doing a version 2, so there have been issues with it, with cracked trunnions, cracked bolts, cracked gearbox shells. So yeah, but that's that gun. So this one should come as no surprise to many of you. It's my TM Mark 18 Mod 1. Great gun, love it to bits. Probably also my other favourite gun with the LCT AKS 74. You've seen lots of this on the channel. We've range tested it, we've upgraded it, range tested it again. I've got one final set of upgrades to do with the barrel and hop unit and some tweaks to the gearbox, and we'll do a final test on it. I'll feed back and then give you my long-term review on what I think about the TM recoils. Most of the reason I like it isn't necessarily the performance, it's just built so well. Really solid, beautiful rail, beautiful markings, really well built and put together. A quote from my partner is it feels gunny, so it doesn't feel like a toy, it feels like something a bit more real. Great gun. You've seen loads of it, so I won't labour the point on this. It's been all over the place on the channel. Lots of videos. I'll link one up there for you if you want to have a look. Currently we have some upgraded gears, upgraded spring guide, upgraded spring. There is now a new Prometheus barrel, Prometheus purple hop and a flat hop. That sounds familiar to you in it. I've got a Vortex crossfire, the Vortex magnifier, really useful for range testing. Clone Surefire, but with a real Surefire head, KM2 head, and the head, that's because that's got an IR illuminator on it, which is really useful when you're testing night vision and playing at night. Completely fake PEC-15, though it is operational and does have an IR laser, so I mainly use this just for the IR laser, again for night vision. It's just about zeroable, not too far off. There are some mods you can do to make this more zeroable. I think the Heresy group put one up recently, so I'm going to have a good look at that, at their guide, and see if I can make some mods to make this more zeroable. Particularly with the recoil, it can lose zero quite quickly. Okay, so that's my Marui Mark 18 Model 1. Okay, so my next gun is not quite here yet. I was hoping to have it finished for this episode, but the receiver is currently at the Parcel Force depot waiting for customs charges, which I need to go and sort out. But it's based on the gearbox from this GMP M4A1 carbine receiver. And it's going to be an 80s Colt M16A1 carbine, an M6V3. So I've got, obviously I say I've stripped this receiver down. I've still got the receiver for another project if I want one, which is fantastic. So I've got a nice M4 receiver. The supply of trademarked GMP receivers has pretty much dried up now. Very hard to get. They're now shipping pretty much everything with a very generic A2 lower, just like is on the M7V3. I chucked some 300 blackout on this stickers just to make it a bit more, because it's got such a short barrel. It does have a gas tube and everything else. Really nice rail. This is a really nice gun, so I'm going to do something with this and rebuild it back up. But we're going to turn it into an M6V3. I've got the front end here. I've got some new handguards coming from Brownells, so with the proper heat shield. These are a bit naff, so I'm going to use some real ones. And I've got a new front handguard retaining ring as well coming, which is feels a bit more solid than this one. But this is the barrel, front barrel steel, really nice. It's going to be absolutely great when it's all built up. And then I've got the donor parts from the 4M, that's the gearbox, barrel, electrical system, new gate Titan for that, should be nice and crisp, and a new stock for that gun as well. So that's going to be proper parts bin special. I'll do a build video when I've built that up and bring that to you as well. Okay, but then last, but no means last in my heart, is my TM Glock 17 pistol. I'm not really a pistol guy, so I'm not someone I don't have lots of pistols. I'm very happy with just this one. I don't have a hankering for loads of other guns. I really just want a gun that's reliable and just goes pop when I want it to go pop. So this is basically a completely stock TM Glock 17 with the TM night sights on. Nothing done to this whatsoever. I've got no little O-light on the weapon light on the bottom, which is really good. I actually quite recommend those. They're built for real recoil. They're basically real weapon lights. They're fantastic and good value, good performance. I'd rather have one of those on than a fake Surefire. So they're highly recommended. But yeah, no, completely solid gun. The only changes I've made is I run the Marui Glock 22 mags with the extended base plate. At one point it was really hard to find 17 mags, and the 22 mags have that cool base plate and just look a bit better. And were much easier to find. So that's it. So that's my guns. Okay, thanks for watching Anvil's Armoury. I've been Tom at Anvil Hibberd for AATV. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, ding that bell to get more notifications every time I upload a video, and we'll see you next time.